May the divine sacrifice we have offered to receive, O Lord, give new life to your priest and to all your servants, that united to you in unfailing love, they may receive the grace of giving worthy service to your majesty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Please be seated for a little while. So in 2013, 4 young friars in formation arrived from the very warm country of Indonesia in O'Hare Airport in December. We came armed to welcome them with bags of cats and hats and mittens and gloves and everything else to keep them warm. They had never experienced anything like it. What a journey they made, coming from Indonesia to here in their formation years in Indonesia. And what a journey they've made here, because 2 of those 4 young, cold men are now Father Leonardus and Father Sebastian. We had things to teach them, they had lots to teach us. They've greatly enriched our Servite community in the United States. They've increased our sense of hope for the future. They've blessed us so much with their decision to join the USA province because they see that Servite ministry here is a little bit too rare. We're getting a little older, and this is where there is a need in the Servite world. So I can't thank them enough for their generosity to spend their lives with this commitment so far from home. And of course, I always continue to ask all of us to pray for new vocations from wherever they may come. Maybe there's even somebody here that has a vocation and doesn't know it yet. I just see a couple of you who might fit into that category, so that we can repeat this wonderful experience. With much gratitude, I thank Sebastian and Leo for your generosity, your spirit of adventure and mission, and the many personal gifts that each has very generously and uniquely shared. Those who know them might have noticed they're a little bit different from each other. And that they will continue to share with us and with the people that they will be serving in the future. Along with Leo and Sebastian, since we're here at Eucharist, which means gratitude, there are many others to thank. In the name of the province, I want to begin by thanking our Servite brothers of the Mexican province. They are the ones who founded the Indonesian Foundation and have generously sent some of their young men to do part of their religious formation in Canada and the United States, as well as in Mexico. So Father Angel Ruiz, the Provincial of Mexico, sends his deepest congratulations to you. He's sorry that he's not able to be here, but I am happy to acknowledge the presence of Father Miguel Flores from Mexico City, as well as 2 people of the Servite family who are working in El Paso as part of the Mexican province. Father Mateus Paul, who was ordained just about a year ago and has to rush off tomorrow to get back to work. And also Ms. Marina Melendez, who is a secular order member, who has also come here from El Paso. Thank you for sharing some of your brothers with us. Thank you, Mexico. And then I look towards our other border, towards the north to Canada, from which Bishop Gaetan Poole has enthusiastically agreed to come to ordain Leo and Sebastian, along with Brother Daniel Andre Trottier of the Canadian province. Thank you so much, Bishop Poole, for ordaining our brothers, making this celebration so much more Servite and so much more collaborative in terms of all of our North American Servites, part of our ongoing collaboration. And the bishop also played a very major role, perhaps the most important one, in initiating this whole program when he was provincial to bring Indonesians to North America. So I'm very grateful for that. And while still in Canada, I have to mention my friend and brother, the former provincial Yvon Chalifou, with whom I worked in continuing to develop this program. He wrote to all of us and said, please greet everyone in the province for me. He said, I'll be with you in prayerful union. What a beautiful moment of grace, collaboration, and fraternity. I want to express my long-distance gratitude to people who were here long before any of us. In fact, they were the first people to meet Leonardus and Sebastianus, and that's their parents. I wish they could be here, but the guys are going to be back in Indonesia soon to celebrate with them. So to Leo's parents, Damianus and Anastasia, Sebastian's parents, Marcelinus and Juliana, congratulations, thank you, and Michael Gaiman and I will have a chance to meet them in person as we leave in a couple of weeks for Indonesia. So we talk about the cultural experience that they had, but we're going to have one ourselves. And speaking of Father Michael Gaiman, I am so incredibly grateful to you, Michael, for all that you have done as the formation director, the mentor, sometimes the anxious parent, the guide, the loving and caring companion along the way, which has led to this day. And I thank all of my brothers of the Our Lady of Sorrows community who have provided the formative environment in which Leo and Sebastian have lived and grown during these past 6 years. Thank you also to everybody here from Catholic Theological Union, from CTU, the companions in study, some professors, including the liturgy professor. I don't think I want to see him after. We only do this every 20 years, so it's not a real common thing for us. But CTU is such a wonderful, international, and exciting place of learning and scholarship. So to all of you, I'm grateful, and in a particular way, our own Father John Palikowski, who has been their academic advisor on this. After they were ordained deacons here in the Basilica, Leo and Sebastian have served in their diaconal ministry in the 3 places where Servites have served in parishes in Chicago. And so I also want to thank Fathers Chris Krimsky and Vidal Martinez and Joe Shamlin for their ministerial example, their mentorship, and for the opportunities that they gave these 2 deacons, formerly deacons, to begin their ordained ministry to God's people. And I always feel so welcome here by the Our Lady of Sorrows community, all of you who make this such an open-armed parish, you who have gotten to know these 2 new priests, have been very supportive of them during their time here. A particular thanks to all who have ministered in this wonderful liturgy, to Dr. Tom Jefferson and the choir, and to all of you from Our Lady of Sorrows who repeatedly provide hospitality and a great sense of welcome to us all as we get to celebrate these memorable moments in this beautiful basilica. And in terms of the Servite family, you're here too. The Servites are not just the friars. We have at least 1 sister here, and a whole bunch of sisters and brothers who are secular order members, all part, including the national prioress, Debbie Nunes, and some of you from various communities who just faithfully are part of the family and faithfully attend these Servite events. Your part in the formation of Servite friars might be a quiet one, but we thank you always for your prayer for vocations, your participation in liturgies like this, your encouragement of the young people in formation, your presence to all of us, and the support that you give us. Even if our connection is infrequent or too infrequent, we're still family. So we thank you. coming to the end. You might be hungry and tired. But I thank everyone in the Indonesian community that the new priests here have found a place that feels like home, where they can speak the language they know the best, although they've learned English so incredibly well. So not only to the choir, but to all of the Indonesian community in Chicago that has been a part of their lives, a part of some really special celebrations. So thank you for your part in their lives. And finally, I want to thank my Servite brothers, all of you Servite friars. The leadership presented this as part of the North American Conference. Whether there was an understanding or a complete openness to the program in the beginning is something we all had to grow into, but thank you for trusting us. Thank you for your open-hearted welcome of our Indonesian brothers who now join us in our U.S. ministries and in our ongoing life as a province. I thank in a particular way as we celebrate this liturgy, Jerry Horan, who has worked really hard with Leo and Sebastian on both of their ordination liturgies. And I want to mention Jim Forrester, too, who has brought his expertise to assist them with their invitations and uniquely different holy cards and technological assistance along the way. And then I thank everybody who I might have not thanked already who's here. There are also people from our Servite High School and from our grotto in Portland who are here. Part of our assembly of friars during this past week. That's why we're all here. So we're very happy that you're here as well. And if I've forgotten somebody, I'm really sorry. Someday in the future, I would also like to express my gratitude to the United States Office of Immigration so that they would let more people in to join us. We are an international order, and sometimes the bureaucracy just stops us from being the brotherhood that we'd like to be globally, internationally, so that more can come who desire to join us in community and in compassionate service as Servites. So let's all pray for that. A very heartfelt thanks to all of you who come, especially in the middle of a week like this and in the evening. But the celebration is not over, so I hope bedtime isn't right away. We're going to continue the celebration, and I invite all of you to the reception, which is going to be over in the monastery. So there are two ways to get there. If you need some assistance in walking, would rather have ramps, please go through that. Well, anybody can do it, but that would be the place to go. The back door, and there will be people to guide you through the labyrinth over to the monastery. Those who are able to walk stairs, this is another option here through the sacristy. So we hope to see you there. Let's get to know each other a little bit. Thank you all so much for being here.
It is the custom of the friars to pay tribute to Their Lady at the end of the day, and so we stand and face toward the shrine of the patroness of this basilica to sing the Salve Regina.
Ate sus
this time, Bishop Gaetan will kneel to receive the blessing of the new priests, and they'll also be offering blessings when we get to the reception, and then he'll give the final blessing and dismissal for the Mass.
The Lord be with you.
Bow down for the blessing.
May God found the Church and guides her still, protect you with His unfailing grace, that you may faithfully discharge the office of priest. May He make you servants and witnesses to divine charity and truth, and faithful ministers of reconciliation. Amen. May God make you true shepherds to provide the living bread and word of life to the faithful, that they may continue to grow in the unity of the body of Christ. Amen. And may Almighty God bless you, gathered here, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.